Welcome back to the channel. Traffic's busy as usual. Just going to head out now and we're going to make a cheesy peasy curry. It's actually a Mutter Paneer. So this is what the paneer is. I bought a block of it, a kilo block. You can buy it as already diced in small packets. So I'm just going to cut a small piece. So there's my paneer for today. It's got yellow on it because it's got turmeric on it from last time I cut it, which is this root. Haldi. Haldi Hai, which is an Indian dish. But it's paneer, if you don't know, is cheese. But it's like a cottage cheese, hard one. And it's going to have peas in it, which I think is mutter in Indian. I'm not Indian last time I checked, so don't quote me on the saying and how I said that, because a lot of people say it differently. They mutter, but they usually understand when you say it, if you say peas afterwards. So we're going to head off to a spot, get out of the bloody town, because this is awful, and get into the country, find a place to go. I'm going to head out a few miles, I think. So this is a location I was going to come to, which I have come to. It's too windy. So I'll show you the views and where I'm heading to. It's only down the hill. Hopefully it will be less wind. So this is the spot I had in mind and I've come to, but it's just we're top of the hill and it's too windy. So it's a lovely location. So what I'm thinking is to head down to where that bend is in the road, if you can see it. I can't see my finger. And then pull up in the edge of the field where you can park, see if there's less wind. But yeah, I love it up here. It's quiet. This is a dead end road, goes to one farm. So nobody comes up here. Walkers, you get walkers, there's public footpath through these fields. But that's about it. I mean, it's quiet. So let's head down there and see how that goes. So I'm thinking pulling into this here. Right, this seems fine. I like this. The wind is mild, but there are gusts. So that's always something I try and avoid. So let's get set up. I think I'm going to have a brew, get a feel for the place, not going to rush, and then I'll get a cook on. Because this is relaxing. It's lovely out here. Well, got a boil on. That didn't take long, that's hot. These storm cookers, windshields, brilliant. Can't beat a Trangia, I love Trangia. So anyway, let's get a, what have we got? This can sit here and cool down because there's no way I'm drinking that. Nuclear hot. Let's see what we got. This is cheesy peasy curry, so it's not difficult. I'm adding a few bits to it, but I am going to use a sauce I bought in Aldi, and I love these sauces. They're two-part sauces. You get, the cap comes with a powder, which you put in, and then you put in your sauce. And this is a pathia, whatever you want to call it, sauce. So that can come out. What have we got? Got one onion. I've got a pepper, but I won't use all of that. I'm going to cut some off it. I've got the peas, easy peasy. They're frozen. And then the paneer, which I cut earlier, which you saw. And I have one green chilli, which I'm going to take the seeds out because it'll be hot if I leave the seeds in. If you take the seeds out of chilies, it makes them not so hot. And I have a little root of turmeric. which is haldi, you can buy as a powder. This will make my hands go yellow because it stains everything it touches, and cloves as well. And that's it, that's what's in the bag. Got to find some oil. This is the stuff I should have prepared, but this is what I'm like. Olive oil is just light olive oil, that's what I use. But we're not ready for that yet, I've got to chop some bits. I've got to open that up without burning my fingers because I know how to use that. They're going to be hot now. I finally got, show you my knife, finally got a jacklaw made by Sandy, Butcherman. I think it was, I think it's a wasp, because I didn't buy it off Sandy, I bought it off Ant the Jinx, his mate. And it's small, super thin, great for prepping food. I love it. Great knife. If you're watching Sandy, it's a great knife, mate. You've done a great job on that. Very, very sharp. Excellent. I haven't fired this up yet, but there's no point yet. I've got to control myself because I like to make large portions. I have lost a lot of weight actually because, you know, I've been trying. Not at all. It's just natural, fell off me since I've become a vegetarian. So, let's get it ready, let's get it on. So there's a certain thing you should do with paneer. You should fry it off and then you should put it in cold water and leave it until you're nearly finished with the cooking and then throw it back in. So we'll probably do that. I mean, I have just put it in and fried it up and cooked with it for the whole cook, but it's recommended you don't because it can toughen it up. You don't really want it toughened up like a leathery substance, subject, consistency, feeling, taste, mouthfeel. I will need some good oil coverage. We're on a slope, so I'm going to have to organise that slopage. And the best way I've found to organise a slope is get a small stick and put it under your Trangia set. And it should lift it on that one side and then level you out. Like so. Right, I'm going to do this correctly now. For all the people that want to buy a Trangia, haven't got one, what you should do and what you shouldn't do. Don't light your burners with this windshield on because you burn yourself. Take it off, then you can put it back on. So we're going to lightly fry. Shallow fry these paneer cubes if I can get my Trangia level. It just makes it non-stick better if it's not on the lash, on the peel. Right, that'll do. This is the things I should have got out, the spatula. But I always do it. I just don't bother until I need it. And there's the wind, as soon as you start. Wow, that is gusting. So we're just going to shallow fry these. I need to prep some water because I'm going to do the water technique. I've got all over my table already. Get some water into a bowl. These need to be turned because they will start browning. This is where I need a windshield because it's just blowing my heat away. Because on a fry pan on Trangia, you get that gap. So the idea is brown it all off. I'm going to get the windshield out. This is getting silly now. As soon as I started it, gust, gust, gust. It's disgusting. Come on. I know I've got a windshield somewhere. As soon as the gusts are gone, you see you can hear that starting to pick up again on the heat because it's not getting blown out. That might even blow my windshield away. When I put this into the pot to make the curry, I won't need a windshield because it's got its own built-in one. I do love cooking. I'm spraying, I should have put this over this end because it's spraying everywhere. The fat's just blowing as it pops up. Now it's getting too burnt, so let's just kill that. I've covered everything in oil. Now if you can see this, I'm going to put this into the water. It's cold water. The wind's cold now as well. Perhaps it's just trying to help me out. It's probably all in my tea, that oil as well. My coffee. I bet the wind's cooled that down. This might seem like a hassle, yeah? I've never done it like this, so for me it's a new experience. Like I said, you can just put it in the pan, fry it up with all your onions and whatever you want to cook, put your sauce in and not really worry about it. But it does get a bit tough, and that don't bother me because I've had it like that many a time. But this time I'm going to try and do it the way that they say you should do it, seeing as I'm making a video on it. And now the wind has completely gone. Thank you, wind, for your help and support. Cut his head off. I'm going to take the seeds out because, like I said, they had a hot thing in it. Any foxes come around later, they might fancy a little bit of spice. So what I like to do is I chop down my ingredients. I don't always do it the same or consistent. I might have them, leave them long, and then dice the other ones. Other one, yeah. So I get difference in the pot. Just remember though, when you touch chilies, don't touch your nose or your eyes or the other thing you all know about, because it will burn you later. I should fire this up, but I'm not going to because it will burn fast. I'm only having a little bit of this, reason being it's only a little pot. Very sharp knife, and I haven't sharpened it. And I asked Ant, he said he hasn't sharpened it. There, just razor. So if you're looking for a great knife, go to Sandy at Wiltshire Man. He's a knife maker. I don't know how long it takes to make them for you or whatever, but they're amazing. You might only have half an onion as well. I cut my onions differently. Every time I use an onion, I cut it a different angle. I don't stick to it. I just like changing things when I cook. Just keep doing whatever. This is very good for you. It's good for anxiety, depression. If you've got schizophrenia like Peter, it's supposed to be very good for the brain. But it does stain the knives because it's very, very stainy. And it's also quite a tough, it's like ginger in texture, so you have to cook it down or cut it very small so you don't really notice, because it will stay tough. So I've just moved the pan over to this side of the table because it is firing out fat. Probably going to hit the camera, but let's hope not. Wind has dropped again. So the paneer is in the bowl. The whole turmeric stains you, like my fingers are completely yellow. So you could wear gloves. I don't bother, it'll come off, just wash your hands a few times. Right, a lesson I've learnt with the Trangia, if you're going to do some heavy stirring, just poking's alright. Just grip it and get a control before you start messing, because you will knock it over. It can fall into itself like that. I've had that happen. I don't know how much room I've got in this pan, so I might be hitting up the saucepan for the actual sauce side of it. Just pour this into a saucepan, but I'm going to fry it off first. I'll put the peas in when I get the saucepan on, I think, because I am going to go saucepan. Salt. Get the salt out. This windshield could fall over. It's really salt to taste, but I've just got a bag and I put some pinches in because I haven't got any salt. The problem with salt, when you leave it in the vehicle for a long time, it starts to go unless you've got a good container. Look at that wind taking that salt. There's going to be salt in that sauce. It's guaranteed they put salt in it. If you're making it from scratch, it obviously doesn't have any salt in it. It does smell nice. I've got coconut oil as well at home. I didn't bring any because I haven't got a container for it. I've got a big jar. Could have brought the jar, but I didn't. But you can add whatever oils you like. I'm not saying this is a traditional way of doing it, because I have a philosophy about curry, and that is I look in the drawer, look in the cupboard, look in the fridge, and I will use what I've got, and I'll just create curries basically. I don't follow the recipes to the T. I make my own, and I love it. That's the great thing about curry. You can just do what you want. Right, let's transfer it into the pot. Could have done this in the pot, to be honest. Don't think it'd matter. If you ever feel like you're starting to stick or it's burning, just add some water to it. Right, I'm going to add this, definitely going to have to add some water after I add this powder, because powder will soak up the fat and then it'll burn. It's probably starting to burn now. Turn down the gas. Wow, don't knock off my pan. Some of these powders are quite hard, you have to break them, make them back into a powder. Some come as a powder. We use the jalfrezi is always powder. This has just gone a bit hard. Let's try and get it in there without getting it go everywhere. Water, because you are needed, my friend. Because that is going to burn, and it is. So this is a dish you've just got to keep attention. I think with the Trangia cooking, you need to keep attention. You can't just leave stuff and let it roll on its own. That smells nice with that powder in there. It's coming to the boil, so that's how much heat's coming through there. Going to get some sauce in a sec. It's going well, smells good. Let's get some sauce in. Mr. Sploppy Loppy. I am going to add the paneer. Just going to drain this water off. Chip it out. I like a challenge, you know. Come out in the wind. be aware if the paneer will sink to the bottom and it will burn, so just keep a stir on it. All we're doing is heating it through again now. The sauce needs a good few minutes to heat up as well. The black stuff you're looking at there, if you can see that, that's onion. It's always the first one to burn. Wow, I nearly took my hat off. Well, they are storm cookers, aren't they? They do work. I don't need this windshield actually, because I am inside the cooker now. Let's get rid of this flapper. But when you see the oil rise and it separates on the surface, you know that you're nearly there, because that's what you're looking for, that separation of oil without burning. So control it. It's going to be good, even though we got the bad conditions to cook in, but you can't always pick them, can you? I think my hat is going to come off. I just hope there's not much dust flying around. I don't want dust in my food. Just drop the pea down inside the cooker. And just want to say to all the people out there who want to leave a comment saying, "You greedy pig," this is a 27, they're tiny. My hand's bigger than that pot. If I was in an area that wasn't on a sort of public-private lane, I'd probably put a tarp over the back to block this wind, but I can't be doing that much of a setup in this area. This is on a real good boil now. You can definitely see the oil separating. This is a lot more sauce than you'll find it being in a traditionally made. I like sauce though, I have to admit, I do like the sauce. Not far off, I reckon this is done. I'm going to turn the gas down, but the thing about turning the gas down, you can turn it off. Now, it's hard to see it in daylight. That's on a simmer now. Definitely separating. If you can see them colours, I don't want to get you too close because I've got my lens covered in this, but there's a definite streaking of a darker orange in there. That's the fat separating. Cheesy peasy curry. Gas out. Wow. That filled up. It filled up and I spilled it on the table. So this is the paneer. It should be soft now. I've left it in that water. I've never done it before. Get on the fork. So let's try it. Let's give it a first taste. Like I've never cooked it like this before. See if it's worth doing. Oh, that's another world. It's normally tough when I cook it. That melts. It melts now. Oh, I'm going to be doing this from now on. That's worth it, because all you're doing is putting water. It's not like you're doing anything extra. It's not even hard, is it? I'm going to bite a bit. It's like marshmallow. Stop throwing it on the table. Like a marshmallow. It is lovely. Beautiful. I'm going to sit here and let this slowly cool down. It won't be slow though in this wind. And enjoy it. That was absolutely beautiful. So I've just finished tidying up, but I'm going to take it all in to wash properly. Normally I wash up, I've got wash liquid and all the stuff here, but there's no need, I'm just going to go home anyway. It was absolutely lovely. So thank you for watching. If you're still here, don't forget to subscribe, like, share. I never say it enough on the videos, but thank you for watching. It's my first video for about 6 months. I can't just keep leaving it too long. I have to get out and do stuff. I haven't shown anyone the van really. You know, I'm going out and doing it, but I'm not filming it. And to be honest, it's so easy to film it. So hopefully I'll be getting out a bit more. So thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Bye bye.